Amorosa, you were the project manager. And you not only lost, you got creamed. You know, I've always been a big Amorosa fan, but Amorosa, you're fired. This was not close.
That, of course, was Donald Trump dismissing Apprentice contestant Amorosa. Only one name needed to describe one of the show's most memorable contestants. Amorosa faced off with Donald Trump for not one, but 3 seasons and 75 episodes in the famed boardroom, giving her some unique insight into what the GOP hopefuls were up against Thursday night. And joining us here live in studio, on set, Amorosa.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Thank you for coming in.
You know, I like the intro from The Apprentice, but I have to give my political background. I worked in the Clinton White House. I worked at the DNC as a fundraiser, and I teach branding and marketing at Howard University. So as much as I love the Apprentice intro, there's much more to me than the boardroom.
But you know, it's because of the boardroom that you're here. It's because of your dueling with Donald Trump that you're here, and it's because of the unique insights that all of that experience gives you that we invited you here to talk to us about Donald Trump. Are you surprised by anything that happened on that debate stage Thursday?
I'm not surprised at all. That first moment set the tone that he was a true leader that could not be controlled, manipulated, or bought. And I have to disagree with many of the critics who said that he didn't do well. I thought he did spectacular because he has changed the face of debates. This is a new era of political debates. 24 million people? You have to look at this from a different perspective. It's like watching the first season of The Apprentice when we were getting 18 to 20 million people. They're tuning in for Donald, and there's a different analysis and metrics that you have to use.
Sure, but I mean, so you're applying an analysis and metrics of reality TV.
Not just reality.
Which is entertainment.
Let's not just call it reality. Reality television has now taken over television. People want to see real moments and see life unfold.
Right.
Real moments.
On television, but,
yes.
But a presidential debate, yes, it's on television, but we're talking about 10 men standing on a stage who are on television talking about how they're going to lead the country and why people in that audience and watching at home should vote for them for president. It's
so what's the question, Jonathan?
So the question is, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that reality television and the ethos there is bleeding into presidential politics?
Bleeding into it, when you have a big reality TV star as the front runner for the Republican nomination, there's no way to separate it. This is the new reality. Donald Trump is the front runner, and you have to deal with everything that comes with it. His business side, him as a father, him as a candidate. And that's what we're dealing with, not just the TV or the entertainment side. He's going to have to answer policy questions. He's going to have to give his position on serious issues. And he may also call people pigs. But that's part of the Trump thing that comes with the package.
And you know what? Since you brought it up, let's throw that probably the most infamous moment in that debate, the Megyn Kelly question.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
That was pretty funny, you gotta admit. Well, just because he insults Rosie O'Donnell does not mean that he dislikes all women. Let's stop painting with a big old brush. I insulted Piers Morgan for 5 years. That doesn't mean I hate all Brits. You have to understand the dynamic of celebrity feuds. Honey, I made a career out of celebrity feuds. Just because I insulted Janice Dickinson, a supermodel, doesn't mean I hate all supermodels. We are painting with a brush that is way too broad for this moment. You're making it way too complicated. He is selling the sizzle, not the steak. And you all are getting caught up on the sizzle. Yeah, well, when
now
W...
you want to speak, Michael Steele?
Can I just remind you that I also covered the George W. Bush candidacy as well. Are we serious? I mean, he had a problem pronouncing basic words. Let's not panic, folks. He became president.
Wait, yes, he became president, but
did he have problems pronouncing just basic words?
Well, sure, but he also did not stand on stage running for president calling someone out by name as a fat pig, and then later on going on to demean, belittle, and denigrate the woman who asked the question, not just one time, but several times over now 2 days.
To get into this arena, and Michael and the secretary will tell you this, you gotta have thick skin. You can't be sensitive. That means for the moderator, for the candidates, for journalists, no one is off limits.
Well, I'd like to point out, I don't think we've heard from Megyn Kelly since she asked that question, but Donald Trump, talk about having a thick skin. His skin's so thin, I could wallpaper my walls with it.
You know what? He's a human being. I think because people have made him a caricature, they don't think that he has feelings. He's a human being. If he's upset about something, he expresses it. And that's why people are connecting with him and his candidacy.
So I just love all of this. Because she's making the underlying fundamental point. Everybody's sitting there trying to figure out why Donald Trump is having this kind of effect, why, he hasn't fallen off the cliff yet. And it's because that authenticity, that realness, and that's connecting with people. Look, over time, this is the secretary said, but he's running for president, and she's absolutely right. Yeah. Over time, as we get into the fall of this campaign, that's going to settle in with the electorate. That's going to settle in when they start making the conscious choice as to who they want Republicans.
They start getting serious.
And when they start really getting serious about, okay, is this person the one I want in the Oval Office to deal with Putin, to deal with ISIS, to deal with all these big issues? Then you'll begin to see some of that settle up. But right now, he's connecting in an authentic and real way that is throwing traditional political trappings.
And so, wait.
We stop trying to write the Donald Trump political obituary. He's not going anywhere. He has staying power.
And so on that point, and to what Michael Steele just said, when people start focusing in on, do you want him in the Oval Office negotiating with Vladimir Putin, given everything that you've just said here today, would you vote for Donald Trump?
I'm a diehard Democrat. Come on, I got Hillary Clinton tattooed on my left arm. I mean, it's no.
But she's made the point.
Because it's so serious allegiance.
No, this is great for politics as a whole. I think it's
4
great
years.
for politics as a whole. To ask me if I would vote for him, I mean, I'm a journalist first and foremost, but I'm also interested in watching this political process unfold. He's like the Tiger Woods of politics. You know, when Tiger got involved with golf, people who had never been watching or involved or interested in golf, they got engaged. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening with this Trump candidacy. People who were just not interested in Republican Party politics, with all due respect.
That's true.
Now they're engaged.
They're engaged. She's right. I mean, I've said it for a while. There's a disaffection amongst the base to the point of just anger, frustration with the leadership, and he is that fresh air that's come in and said, "Okay, I'm willing to shake it up," but it will settle itself out.
Amorosa, thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Jonathan.